Good evening, VV Nation. My name is Ryan. Welcome to the channel. It's Thursday, so you know we're going to talk semis, and there's two stocks in particular that's been making a lot of ruckus this week, right? We had ASML earlier this week. We're going to cover them, and we're really going to see exactly what happened there. We saw the sell-off, but it's still a great company, in my opinion. We're going to see what kind of opportunities might be presenting themselves with ASML. Along with that, this morning, it's all about TSM, had phenomenal earnings. So we're going to break down the report, see exactly how much they beat by, and compare it to a year ago. Now, in tonight's video, I really want to see what semiconductors are moving the most right now based off of AI chip demand when it comes to TSMC's earnings report. So that being said, I'm going to resort all of the semiconductor stocks by percent PRC. Right now, we're a couple hours into the market open, giving us a clear sense of seeing exactly which stocks are responding the best to this news. We're going to go through that list and see if there's any trade opportunities presenting themselves. So if you're interested in tonight's presentation, make sure you stick around and let's get started. Now, this is going to be pretty quick. I know this is kind of old news. This is going to be ASML. We're going to go over the earnings. If you see here, the EPS beat by 8%, revenue beat by 4%. That's right. I'm starting off with the good news. If I scroll down, we compare this year over year, revenue up over 11%, net income up almost 10%. You see the numbers right here. Net change in cash up 112%. The one item in the red, net profit margin down almost 2% compared to what it was a year ago. Now, I realize investors lost enthusiasm when it came to their forecasted sales. The reason why, the AI chip restrictions between the US and China is only intensifying. And as I was reading some articles here, just over 40% of the sales by ASML do come from China, yet only contribute to about 20% of the revenue. Which brings me to the next article here. ASML, this is going to be their solution right now. And you can see right with the title here, they're eyeing price increases in 2025 with one of their largest customers, TSMC. The other large player will be Samsung and Intel. But these negotiations will be tough because ASML does need TSMC for a lot of its business. However, TSMC does need the equipment provided by ASML. Here we have the results from TSMC this morning. They beat over 8% on EPS, revenue coming in at just over 1% to the upside. But this is where investors really got excited. Revenue up over 40% year over year, net income up over 36%. All of the numbers here looking phenomenal. But look again, the net profit margin is down ever so slightly, just 2.67%. Now, the point of tonight's video, if I scroll down, you can see right here, shares of chip companies rose on results. NVIDIA up 3%, Micron up about 4%, AMD. A lot of these companies are going to ride the momentum of TSM simply because they are the manufacturer of these AI giants. Here's a watch list with about 60 semiconductor companies, some of the big names, and a lot of the smaller caps as well. You can see I do have it reordered by percent PRC. Taiwan Semi TSM at no surprise, best performing one today. But look at this. We got Ping up over 5%, Broadcom over 4%, Lattice Semi up over 4%. So what we're going to do tonight's presentation, I'm going to take the top 10 of these stocks and we're going to graph them. Starting off with the behemoth in the group, it's going to be Taiwan Semiconductor. I've said it before on the channel, anytime one of these big AI chip companies becomes undervalued, opportunities present themselves. 12 months ago, the stock was undervalued just to become overvalued, but with value on the rise following price action to the upside. Wasn't too concerned about that. Now, if I zoom into a 6-month time span, last night's video, I did talk about this double top bottom. We got clear rejection on both of these accounts here. But price action after earnings today, nice gap up, big full-bodied candlestick, price action coming at $211. And we can see exactly why. Look at the growth rate in earnings coming in at 18%, sales growth rate 33%, and the earnings per share, nice steady stair-step fashion. All of the forecast data looks great with TSM. So if you're holding this stock, no concern as of right now. And if you are going to purchase this stock, just be careful as we do have a gap now and price action might be tempted to fill that in the future. But as of right now, the 3 is above the 8. So I'm seeing this as a short-term momentum play or a great AI long-term investment. Second stock in the list, we've got Ping. Now, this is a stock I'm not familiar with, but you can see it just broke this level of support, now becoming resistance around 1756. One thing I do like about this, the stock has been overvalued for quite some time. Price action not doing a whole lot. You can see pretty lackluster, but value is on the rise right now. If we take a look at value at 1035, the stock currently trading at 1645. Not a buyer right now, the momentum to the downside, but I would put this on your watch list and just see where this value ends up and with price action, because if the stock becomes undervalued and can ride off the momentum of TSM in the near future, this might just be a stock you don't want to forget about. Here's one of the big AI chip companies. We've got Broadcom, AVGO. It is overvalued. That obviously is a concern of mine, but look, value is also on the rise. We currently value the stock at $132, trading at $183. So I'm going to go off the technicals here. As long as price action can stay above that 20-day EMA, giving a little bit of wiggle room to grow, I think this would be a great momentum play to the upside. Now, that being said, the forecasted data, the growth rate in earnings has dropped over the last 6 months, but the sales growth rate and earnings per share have had momentum to the upside. Here we've got Lattice Semi price action on the decline over the last 6 months. So is valuation. If we look at all the forecasted data on the decline as well, even sales growth rate going to negative territory, -35. So this is a stock I just can't get behind. Here we've got Monolithic Power. Obviously, the stock is greatly overvalued. I'm going to get valuation out of the way so we can see price action a little bit better. Now, look, we are seeing some consolidation here. Here's the bottom of the channel. The top is right at the resistance level, coming at $959.64. We're pretty close to that. I do see optimism here with the moving averages approaching to be in our favor now. But to get confirmation, if you're not already in this position, definitely want to see price action break out to the upside of this channel. But we do have buy recommendations across the board here. And if we look at the forecasted data, all on the rise over the last 6 months, this actually looks like a great stock. If you're already in it, wouldn't be too concerned. If you're not in it, I'd give up the $20 just to get bullish confirmation to the upside. Now, this is going to be an aggressive bottom fishing play. You can see price action, nice steady rise for the first 3 months in the chart. But the last 3 months, very lackluster. You see sell recommendations appearing. Finally got a hold, showing that momentum starting to wane to the downside. We do see two clear levels of support here around $29 and $28 respectively. From a technical aspect, we do have fresh moving average crossovers. Even after the nice gap up this morning, we're giving away those gains since the market is open. So I can't get too enthusiastic about it right now. If you're going to look for some entry levels, the first one is going to take out this prior swing high here around $32.39. And if you want to be conservative, breaking the next level resistance at $34.17, not a bad idea. Here we've got Micron or MU. We see the gap up today from TSM's momentum. I mean, the stock, after price retraced for quite a bit, we do see a nice long sell rating here. But look, buys, they're coming back into the picture. I know there's been a lot of questions about MU. This stock isn't going anywhere. One of its biggest competitors is SMCI, and you know about that investigation right now. So I have a feeling Micron's going to probably gain some more momentum. Now, in the last video I did, this was my confirmation level 110.89. Currently, we're trading at 112, so we did break above that. So we are seeing confirmation to the upside. But with today, we do have a little bit of wick right now to the upside. And down below, the forecasted data, growth rate and earnings, sales growth rate, earnings per share, all on the rise. So again, I'm a big believer in Micron. I think this is a great opportunity. Here's PRSO. I don't like the price action at all. I mean, the stock showing a lot of indirection over the last 6 months, and looking at the weak volume here, I just can't get behind it. But if you do have a smaller account and you like penny stocks, this might be one for you. I mean, looking at the earnings growth rate here on the rise, coming in at 15%, the sales growth rate at 76%, and our forecasted EPS data is negative right now, but we do see it on the rise, aiming to be profitable by next year. Now here's another bottom fishing opportunity. We see Allegro Microsystems, big sell off about 3 months ago. Sell recommendations in the board. We are seeing some holds appearing ever so slightly. Now the moving averages, they're not in our favor. So to get any kind of confirmation here, we do see a support level. No real buying pressure right now at this support level. I'd like to see price action at least get back above the 20-day EMA, which would put the 3 and 8 in our favor. But as far as its forecasted data, all three are on the decline over the last 6 months. So this is going to be a technical play because the company's fundamentals just aren't there. Now, the last stock this evening is going to be UMC. This is actually another Taiwanese semiconductor company, a little less known. If I go to a 1-year chart, now the chart's not too pretty here, but I will say this stock does pay a dividend. Last time I looked, it was around 7-8%. So it is high of a dividend. You can see that volatility reflecting in the price action here over the last year. And just looking at the forecasted data, the growth rate is -6, sales growth rate -4, earnings per share at 72 cents. So this is another stock I just can't get behind. All right, VV Nation, this is how I'm going to leave you with ASML, my analysis. We could see the sharp sell-off since the earnings, but look at these two blue lines I made, right? Now, the reason why I made these, if I drag this out, we see several touches. This is my clear support zone for the sell-off right now. The bottom of it is at 674. The top of it is around 710. If I go back to a 1-month chart, we are starting to see some bottom pressure right at the bottom of the zone here. So if you're thinking about buying ASML, we see the moving averages here. The only reason why I would even advocate buying the stock right now, the valuation. The stock is undervalued right now at $708 is the value, currently trading at $688. The stock was very overvalued for quite some time, but now the price is actually looking attractive. So if you can be disciplined, my stop price is at $675. So a pretty hard stop on it, not giving it too much wiggle room. But again, with the momentum to the downside right now, gotta be disciplined if you're thinking about bottom fishing ASML. Now, my name's Ryan. It's been a pleasure giving you tonight's presentation. If you liked what you saw here and you liked the analysis, make sure you hit the subscribe button, like the channel, so that way you can get updated going forward. Have a good night.